Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. And today, the Texas Rangers have fired their manager, Bruce Bochy, after 3 seasons. The guy that helped them win a World Series a couple seasons ago in 2023, when they had a 90-72 record and won their first ever World Series. And look, I'll say this. It's time for Bruce to retire. I think Bruce Bochy is an incredible manager. And I look at two guys that are legends in the game of Dusty Baker and Bruce Bochy. And I think we got to see an incredible couple years ago in the ALCS, see those guys go at it. Both guys made incredible mistakes of not retiring at the perfect time. I felt like when Dusty Baker, when the Astros won in 2022, going another year after that, it's like when you're at that age, why are you going another season after winning a World Series? There's nothing better you can do after that, especially when winning back-to-back in this league is so rare. So I feel like after the Rangers won in 2023, that should have been it for Bruce Bochy. And I don't think you look at it as like his career as a manager doesn't change, but like I just don't understand why he has managed the last 2 seasons, because the guy, even after winning the World Series with the Texas Rangers, has absolutely nothing to prove. He's a 4-time World Series champion. He's got 5 pennants. Like, this guy has nothing to prove in his career. He's a former manager of the year. Like, what is it that he needs to prove as a manager at this point? You know, so that's why I think these last 2 seasons were dumb by him to stay. You go 78 and 84 in 2024 and 81 and 81 this year. I think injuries have affected this Rangers team in the last 2 years. But even if injuries would have been better for this team, I don't think they're in the playoffs either one of the last 2 seasons. I'm not saying 2023 was a fluke, because I think that 2023 team was a really good baseball team. But they lost pieces after that season, and they had really bad injuries after that. And so, I just feel like for the Rangers, it should have been it for Bruce Bochy, after that 2023 season. But it's still, let's say he decides to retire, which I think he is going to retire. It's still an incredible career for him as a manager. We have seen as a manager, we've seen a 28-year career with 4 World Series, 5 pennants, 1 Manager of the Year. That's why I've said over and over again, why didn't he retire after 2023? Now, I think with Dusty Baker, with Dusty Baker, I think it makes a little bit more, of sense with Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker, even though he is a great manager, he was a 3-time Manager of the Year, 3-time pennant. He only had 1 World Series champion. That 2020 World Series with the Astros was his first and only World Series. So with Dusty returning in 2023, even though I don't think it was the right decision by Dusty Baker, now that made a little bit of sense for him, because he didn't want to just finish with 1. He wanted to go for 2. And the Astros, are a team that, if you were to look at, this team is going to go back-to-back, like, that was a team that you could think after that 2022 Astros squad, this team could go back-to-back. They didn't, but Dusty, with Dusty, I think it made more sense because that was his first World Series win. But at least with, that was Bruce's 4th win. World Series wins. That's just kind of crazy. I think it would have been cool to see him manage 30 seasons, but I don't think you wanted to see another couple embarrassing seasons on the Rangers. Would he decide to potentially manage 2 more seasons elsewhere to say he had a 30-year manager career? I don't know, but I would say probably not. But you guys let me know your thoughts on the Rangers firing Bruce Bochy in the comment section, and peace out.